Hello, fellow music lover. Welcome to the Music Notes podcast. I am your host, Emily Waddell, and I am joined by my co-host, Trinity Nelson.
Hey guys! Thank you for joining us today. In today's episode, we will be talking about how being a music major isn't easy.
Ain't that the truth?
It's the truth!
Before we start, we would like to clarify a few things. We are by no means saying that being a music major is the hardest major out there.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think there's such thing as an easy major, honestly. We do think, however, that a music degree is one of the most misunderstood, degrees out there.
Absolutely, Emily. And just because you aren't a music major or minor doesn't mean that what you do isn't difficult at all. Like Emily said, we just want to make people aware of how hard being a major or minor is, instead of getting the normal response of, don't you just sing and play guitar for people? Isn't that supposed to be fun?
Yeah. We get those responses all the time. And before we get into discussing the difficulties that come with being a music major, I also want to clarify that we will not be ranting the entire time, but rather we will be giving advice on how to conquer these challenges. Because we don't want a podcast that's going to be entirely negative. Also, it's just annoying, I think, because that's not good for anyone. So we will also discuss the positives along with the negatives that come with being a music major/minor.
Absolutely, because this is a safe space for us to talk about our experiences, the good and the bad. Without the bad, we wouldn't be able to grow from these experiences. So now that we did a little bit of housekeeping, let's get started. So the first thing that we would like to discuss is the early morning music classes. I'm talking 8 a.m.s.
Oh, hearing that already makes me want to yawn.
Same.
Now, I don't know if this applies to any other schools out there, but for our college, we as music majors and minors have to take such early music classes, and they are only offered in the morning. I currently have 8 a.m. classes Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and on Wednesday I have a 7:25 a.m. class.
Woo!
And luckily no classes on Friday. Thank God. Now Trinity, how about you explain what we went through last year regarding our lovely schedule?
Sure, and oh my gosh, but when you did say that you have no classes on Friday, I do miss that. For sure, because like I mentioned in our introduction episode, I used to be a music therapy major, but now I am a vocal music performance minor. But I definitely remember those early morning classes. I especially remember Thursdays. Those were the longest days of the week for me. I would start the day off at piano at 8:25 a.m., and then right after that, I had oral skills, which is like an ear training class. I would then take a break, but that would usually be filled with practicing. And during those times as well, I would also try to record the piano videos that we would have to do.
Lovely piano videos.
Lovely piano videos.
Yeah,
oh boy.
I think every single music major and minor out there knows what we're talking about.
They know about the piano videos, and so I would usually do that during that time. And then we would have chamber rehearsal, so our choir rehearsal. And then we would have seminar, which seminar is a course that all music majors are required to be in, but it's 0 credit hours. So, yay. And then to end the day, I would usually do more practicing. So it was such a long day.
God, yeah. Just having to repeat, just doing it over and over, it just becomes so exhausting. And,
Yes.
you feel so burnt out at the end of the day. And then you have to get up early and do it all again. But, one thing, I think all of us can relate to this is how less credit hours we have as a music major.
Yep.
I have 16 hours right now, and the workload and the class load, I don't even remember how many classes I'm taking, 6, 7, I don't know. But it feels so, similar to when I was taking 20 credit hours freshman year.
Wow.
What?
That says a lot.
Yeah, because music classes, they don't count for many credit hours, and it sucks.
They really don't, and I can totally tell the difference of me being a psych major now is that I have about 15 or 16 hours, and I only have about 5-ish classes because most of these classes are 3 hours compared to like me being a music major with the 0 credit seminar and the 1 hour courses as well, and maybe even 2. But yeah, so definitely a difference there.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised we made it through our like early music
Thank
classes.
goodness.
It's definitely a struggle. But if you are on the same boat as us when it comes to early music classes, I think we have a few things that could ease the pain and suffering of waking up so early.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so, okay, the first one, I wasn't the best at this, but I feel like going to bed at a decent time will help you feel better, and just getting you through the day, surviving the day for another word, but yeah, definitely surviving. And when I say go to bed early, I don't mean you have to be in bed by 8 p.m., but if that works for you, go ahead. It just doesn't work for me personally. I feel like if I go to bed at least before midnight, that's a win in my book. But whatever works best for you.
Exactly. If you cannot go to bed super early, that's okay. My sleep schedule is definitely not perfect. If you're having trouble going to bed early, there are many things you can try. Personally, you could getting a cup of tea and cozying up and
Yum.
getting all warm under the covers, taking some melatonin. And one of the best ways is, unfortunately, we probably all hate this, is to cut out technology at least an hour before
That
in
is so
order to
hard.
feel sleepier because of
That's
the
hard.
blue light and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, if you find yourself not being able to sleep because you're cramming for tests and doing homework, yeah, that we've all been there. I found that the best strategy for me personally is to divide out your homework between days. Like, for instance, make a list of all your homework that you need to complete during that week and all the due dates, and divide that work throughout the week. That way, each day's work is manageable and you won't need to cram information in your brain the night before, and you'll actually be able to prioritize rest. Any more tips, Trinity?
I'd also recommend making some time in the morning to do something that you absolutely enjoy, something that also relaxes you. It can be journaling, meditating, preparing a delicious breakfast, whatever you want. Yeah, especially for the breakfast part.
Yes.
I'm also not the
Eat.
one that I should speak on this because I don't, I'm trying to get better about eating, especially breakfast. But yeah, I definitely eat breakfast if you can.
I think another challenge of studying music is the comparison aspect. When you think about other majors, they don't really perform, rather they give like presentations on like what they've been working on in class, which is still incredibly nerve-wracking, don't get me wrong. I don't like presentations.
Me either.
But with music majors and minors, I think it's different. You usually perform multiple times a year, and you also have juries for your specific instrument, which determines if you pass your applied instrument class. Most music majors are required to perform in one class here called seminar, that no credit class we were talking about. What I'm trying to say is that performances can be more personal than presentations, especially for vocal majors, I think. One thing I've realized for vocal majors is that your voice is a part of you, and sharing that with other people and it being a grade is so terrifying. And just sharing your voice with people is just extremely vulnerable. So, if someone doesn't like your voice, it hurts and affects you so much more than a presentation would. And with comparison, you see people perform all the time, and it's kind of inevitable to not compare yourself to others and feel like you're not good enough, even in your music theory classes as well, which Trinity and I have definitely experienced.
Yes, I totally agree with this. It is very hard trying not to compare yourself with others. Not just in a regular situation, but especially in the music world. There were times when I didn't feel like expressing myself through music anymore because I would think that I wasn't good enough. To me, we shouldn't compare ourselves with others to an obsessive amount. To an extent, I think that it can give you the drive and push and determination to better improve yourself, and but I feel like you shouldn't over fixate it on it. What do you think, Emily? Have you been in a similar boat?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Comparison isn't something that's entirely bad or entirely good. I mean, sometimes it can be beneficial and motivating if you want to get better at something. I think I always used to look at comparison in such a negative light, and now I use it to improve myself and as motivation, and it has definitely made me a better person and more positive person overall. There was one instance last year where Trinity and I were struggling in music theory classes. I think it was with voice leading, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of the main ones.
It was that was the main topic we were concerned about. And even though we were afraid of it, we asked for help and we went to tutoring. When I say it helped tremendously.
It really did.
Yeah, nothing is wrong with wanting further instruction, no matter what other students will say. If anything, it shows your professor that you genuinely care about doing well in the class and wanting to learn.
And honestly, it is nerve-wracking to ask for help, especially when you feel like the only person that's not understanding, but that's totally okay. Asking for help is a part of learning and being the best version of yourself. Like Emily said, asking questions and going to tutoring really helped us out a lot. What I've learned is that we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all won't understand something 100% all the time, and that's fine. Who knows, the person that you think might get it probably have asked for help too, so you're not alone.
Definitely. One of the biggest things I've learned as a music major is that failure is good. You should value failure, honestly. Failure, it opens such a huge gateway for you to improve and get better at something. Developing a better relationship with failure in general is just honestly one of the best things you can do as a college student, because it is not realistic to expect to be perfect at everything. And so now when I see a bad grade on something, I don't see it as, well, gosh, I suck at this, I'm never going to get good at this. I see it as an opportunity to grow and see how I can improve next time. You should be proud of yourself and proud of your grade, no matter if it's low.
Accepting failure is hard, but it's so important to understand that we all have to start somewhere. And I also want to point out that there's always someone that is going to be better than you, but again, that's okay. Like we mentioned, it can give you the drive to be a better version of yourself.
Exactly. So we hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode, and we can't wait to record more content for you guys. Before we close out, we have to announce our college tip of the week.
Ooh.
And that is to practice saying positive affirmations and being kind to yourself. I'm going to say that aggressively because it's important.
It is important.
Your thoughts create your reality and hold great weight. So it's important to enforce positive thoughts throughout the day. They can be as broad or specific as you want them to be.
Absolutely. And Emily and I, not too long ago, we made these positive affirmation jars. And it was so fun to make. It was so, fun and getting involved, painting, drawing.
Yes. Make it look all pretty.
It's very fun. So if you like arts and crafts, I think you would definitely enjoy that. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can just simply write it down wherever you want, a place that you can see it, because I think that's important too.
You can just say it to yourself.
You can say it as well. And for me, I would write the affirmations out on a sticky note and place them on the bathroom mirror, just so that way I can get that constant reminder of I am this, you can achieve this, and etc.
It makes a huge difference.
It does.
I think
It does. It helps a lot. Changing gears a little bit, but we're now going to get into the song of the week. Woohoo! Woo! And my favorite song this week is California Love by Tupac featuring Dr. Dre. Now, this has been one of my staples for a long time now. I literally listen to it all the time on my way to class, anywhere.
Your little hype up song.
It's my hype up song. Yes, it's just amazing. I love it, and it's definitely a 90s staple. And the rapping just flows so well. They feed off each other very well. And yeah, Tupac will always and forever be an influencer and just intelligent with his craft. Continue to rest in power, Tupac. But what's your song for the week, Emily?
So my song of the week is Ellery Ward's arrangement of Being Alive. She has this, like, she has 2 albums, I think, of just doing Sondheim covers and reinventing them. And she does such a good job at it. It's beautiful. The harmonies are beautiful. The way her tone is just angelic, and it's great. So I highly recommend that if you like Broadway songs, but also kind of like combined with indie folk sounding. Yeah.
Is it a tearjerker, Emily?
Yes, it's a tearjerker.
I need that in my life.
It's not a hype up song by no means, but
hey, sometimes you need a good cry.
Yeah,
I know I do.
Exactly. Especially if you're a music major or minor.
Yes. So before we let you guys go, we have some exciting news.
And what is that?
Oh my gosh. Well, for our next episode, we will be having our first guest artist. And we are starting with one of our best friends, singer, songwriter, and musician, Bella Lamb. We are very excited.
Yes, so please stay tuned because this is an episode you will not want to miss. It's going to be so great. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Anyways, we hope you have a fantastic day. And as always,
bye fellow music lover.